para quando eu te pedi para quando começa, te pedi para quando começa, eu te pedi para quando
Wait, try the six-pack again.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so here, walk with me. Here's what we've gotten done so far. I haven't posted in 2 months since now, and this probably isn't going to come out for another month. But we're putting up a garage, and we're working on the foundation. And Dad's brilliant idea was to do it by hand. And so my hands are blistered and bleeding, and my dad's calling, says he keeps saying my pussy hurts, so I keep working. So here we are. What was the size again for the garage?
22 by 30.
So it's 22 this way by 30 this way. It's like a car and a half, 2-car garage. And we're gonna put a patio. We're putting a patio out back. Or 3-car garage, actually. My bad. But yeah, what you guys are gonna be watching is me shirtless a lot because it's hot out now. And we're tamping until we start doing concrete. I don't know how soon this video is gonna come out, but it'll be out whenever it's out at this point. I care more about quality than I do quantity, so deal with it.
Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Doing great, buddy. Shoot.
weird on camera sometimes. Am I zoomed out or zoomed in or?
Yep.
Well, okay. So we filled this in yesterday, and now we're retrenching it so it's actually sized properly and packed tight. We're going to redo all the way around and then eventually dig in the front here. I don't know if I talked about this yet, but we did get a compactor. It's a lot easier than doing it by hand. Doing it by hand just tears your hands up if you want to. That's about a week off, but I also have softer hands, I guess. If you want to come over here, we're trying to come up with a better method on how to grade everything. We're probably going to run a string line along the back and then work our way forward. And then whatever's left over, we're going to put in the front for the drive. Is there anything I'm missing? Anything I might need to talk about still? Well, I guess in the meantime, you're just going to keep watching and see where it goes. I'll update you guys soon. I'm trying to talk more in the videos, so. Okay, so we poured the concrete today. I got an audience this time, if you want to show. I feel weird talking in front of a camera with them. But you'll see the garage pop up in the next video. We're gonna finish this off. I don't know what else to say, so we'll end it here. Yeah, I'm not. This isn't something to start on.
Sometimes they're a little hesitant because it's red.
That's not something I want to start on. gonna just do a video. We're only replacing where the driveway had already existed. We just had to dig it back up. You can see the aggregate underneath all this dirt. It's just washed out.
To become secure, I have to have value. I want to be worth something. I want to be worth enough to attract the attention of others.
Get him, buddy. So the driveway's done, mostly. We still want to do a border around it. We were thinking like railroad ties or something like that. I think that would look great. But we still gotta get rid of the rest of these rocks here in the middle as well. And then kind of want to level it a little more too, because this kind of dips down a little bit this way. So once we're done with that, oh, in the meantime, we're kind of going back and forth between this and the tree stump.
What I recognize as self is myself. I'm no more and no less than the sum of my self-awareness. But I don't understand myself. Where am I? What am I? What am I? The only one who can take
Which is this big,
and understand
if that gives you a better idea. We can't exactly rip it out of the ground. We might burn it out, try to figure out a few other ways to do it, but this will all be in the next video. Pad's done, driveway's almost done, trees out by hopefully the end of the weekend. You may or may not see the garage come up because we have contractors that are coming out to put it up. It came with the price of the garage, so that might just one day pop up if I can't catch it on video. Aside from that, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. Thanks for watching. Grandma, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, I guess. I'm trying to promote a little more. Have a good one.